Tightest Bank on It podcast, episode 26. Shout out to Wade Boggs. The man is a legend in more ways than just in baseball. Have to check out Always Sunny.
The Chicken Man.
The Chicken Man.
Howdy, Dee.
Well, what do you say, boss?
And then Wade Boggs, just a legend as a human being. We're, as always, presented by the Appalachian newspapers and brought to you by
Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. If you are looking for quality care for loved ones, look no further than Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Both facilities treat your loved ones with care and respect. They offer therapy, daily activities, exquisite cuisine, and home-like settings to make your family members feel at home. Call to schedule an appointment today. At Cedar Creek, call Jessica Thacker at 432-8243. And at Good Shepherd, call 456-8725. Caring for your loved ones is what we do best.
And special shout out to the city of Pikeville. Check out the website at www.visitpikeville.com. Check out all the events coming up. It's going to be a big summer for the city. We've got a lot of stuff going on right here in the Expo Plaza where we're filming today. Beautiful day in downtown Pikeville. And the biggest thing I guess we got going on this week is big name legend in high school basketball in the area stepping down as head coach at Eastridge.
Eastridge's Randy McCoy stepping down after 40 years of coaching. He's going to step away right now. He didn't say he was retiring for good, but he's going to step away for right now. He had some health issues last year, open heart surgery before the season. He coached a few games, probably shouldn't have done that, but the guy's a trooper and he wants to be there for his players and the school and everybody. So he felt it was time for him to step down. So we've got a 25 minute conversation with Randy McCoy about his career, and it's just fascinating to hear him tell stories, the people he's coached, the people he's met, all the influences, and to me that's what coaching is about.
Well, and he's somebody who you don't have to know a lot about basketball in the mountains to know the name Randy McCoy. He's a guy who clearly loves the game, and odds are I'd be shocked to see him not back on the sideline again, but we'll see. You never know.
We'll see. And, to me, I think it's a shame if he never coaches again because he's an all-time legend for a reason. He's won at every level. When I first started at the News Express 14 years ago, he was one of the early coaches I got to know. Over the years, he's been nothing but great to work with on my end. Just a great guy, and I think people are going to be fascinated by his story and the conversation and the things that he talks about that he's done over 40 years.
Yeah, so be sure to stick around, check out this. This is a great interview, and get a lot of information on a basketball coaching legend from right here in the mountains.
Sitting here with the Eastridge coach, Randy McCoy. News broke last week, Coach, that you decided to step down. If you want to kind of talk about, your decision and kind of, what you were thinking with this decision.
Well, it's not easy. This was number 40 for me, and certainly, I've tried something else once, and it really wasn't what I really wanted to do, and the whole time I was doing it, I was missing this profession, but kind of been through a lot in the last couple of years, and especially this year from Thanksgiving on, and I'm doing really good. I think I could still do some things, but yet I also think I still have to keep working to get stronger. And this job in this day and time is so demanding, both physically and mentally, that you've got to be prepared in every way. And I think the best thing for me and the best thing for Sherry is to kind of step back and take a break and look and see what else there is.
Yeah, and it seems like, Coach, I know you put a lot on your players. You really love these kids and respect them. That's probably got to be the toughest thing, is because I know you talked about how bright the future is here at Eastridge, how much these kids worked. I mean, just kind of talk about, that part of it. I know that's probably the hardest part for you.
Well, it is. I mean, I go back from when I went to Pikeville College as a student, and, how that everybody bought into what the excitement of building that program, and then going to Morehead State as an assistant in a situation where everybody was hungry, working, and the whole time for me was a learning process.
Just kind of talk about, your times at Moorhead and some of the places that you were traveling.
Well, again, I've said, and I believe it, at every place I've been 100% committed. I would say 200%, but there's no such thing. But I've been 100% committed to not only the basketball program for boys, the women's, the girls, baseball, football. It doesn't matter. And probably the funny thing is look at what we did at Elkhorn City. We went there to be basketball coach, and we become athletic director. We coached baseball, we coached track, we coached golf, we mopped the floor, we cleaned the locker room. We did about it all. But, and I remember going to Moorhead and the learning process. I was very fortunate that I got the chance to go to Pikeville College because of my best friend, Jim Kerr. And then, hooking up with Coach Martin, going to Moorhead as an assistant. First place I went to recruit was Newark, New Jersey. And it's a long way from the bottom of Marbone Hill to Newark, New Jersey when you're 22 years old. And it was something, but everything's a learning experience, and the things that we had a chance to do at Moorhead, go play in the NCAA tournament, play Syracuse in the first round, actually play North Carolina A&T and win a game, and then play Louisville at the Mecca. The things that we did at Elkhorn City, and I'll never forget speaking at a middle school banquet at Sycamore. And to those kids, and I told them then, I said, I want to take you to the state tournament. Well, everybody wants to do this, but we worked really hard. They worked hard. They bought in. They accepted roles. And I'm not saying they were always happy, and there were people who wasn't, didn't like what we did, but hey, it is what it is, and we stayed the course, and we wouldn't change. And it's been like that everywhere. Going to Pikeville College, that was a process, getting that thing where it needed to be, and we just, the things that we were able to do there, and University Heights, they got beat in the first round of the district tournament. We come back and were blessed to win the regional All-A and win the state All-A. We were blessed with good players.
Absolutely.
You coach people like Todd Conley and Tion Knox and Cedric Taylor and Jeremy Hall and then Scotty Hobson, and it was unreal. The kids here, have been, I'll take memories with me from here too that are really special. To win a district, played in the regional tournament 4 straight years, won an All-A. It's not easy to do. Winning a championship's not easy to do. But kids bought in. The worst thing about it is I look back 2 years ago, you lose 12 seniors.
Yeah,
right? And what that was like, and those were 12 good kids. And I made the statement then that it would take at least 2 years to get back to the point where we could compete in this region. Well, we've just finished our second one. We won 8 last year with not a starter coming back, and oh man, that's why the rest of that. This year we won 12, and we're so close to winning probably 16 or 17. But these 2 years are over with. What's coming back? I could have stepped away 2 years ago, but I knew if I did, people would say, well, you knew you were going to get beat. Yeah. And I've never accepted that, so we went through that challenge, and we weathered the storm, and then, we get sick. I told my kids, I said, let me apologize. Let me tell you how sorry I am that I got sick. Because I think we could have been better, and it's not that Coach Runyon and Coach Justice didn't work extremely hard. They did, but basically these kids had 3 coaches in 1 year, and things kind of got out of whack there a little bit. But you know, with what's coming back, and if they buy into what they have to do, accept their roles, everybody outside accepts the roles, then this team is going to really make some strides. I've seen some of these kids that have come in here this year, how much they've grown. Mm-hmm. They're going to be so much bigger next year. But, you know, I'll take pride in it that, you know, we tried a consolidation is a tough thing.
It's a tough thing, yep. It's a tough thing.
Sometimes you never get over it. You know, we you know, you got Feds Creek, Elkhorn, and Millard, and trying to blend all that stuff in. And, you know, years ago with Elkhorn City, I tried to consolidate then, and it worked pretty good at times. But and this was actually legal, so. You know, you got to keep the kids, and in this day and time, and the mindset, you know, heck, fire, you got to recruit your own kids in school.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll take the good memories with us from here, and you know, if we decide to do this again, there's things that we will have learned from being here for 7 years. And I came back here for 7, 10 at max, and in this day and time, Randy, the Bobby Keys, the Bill McRunions, the Billy Hicks, that's not going to happen. Few and far between, because it's just the mindset of things today, and you just go in and work as hard as you can, but then you got to step back and you see when it's time, you need to make that move, because things tend to not be good if you don't. And I want to walk away from here with the experiences I've had with these kids over the last 7 years. There have been some not as good as others, but you know, I always look back on it and be proud of what we were able to do. And you know, we might write a book. I don't know. I think the statute of limitations has run out on the NCAA program. I think the statute has run out on NAI, and I don't care if it's run out on the Kentucky High School Athletics Association. But it would be entertaining. I'm sure there's a lot of things that I've been able to experience, and you know, I've been overseas. We went to Poland, spent 3 weeks. I've been to France twice. I've had so blessed to go from New York to Florida to California. You know, we've been able, and basketball afforded that for me. And you know, like I said, you look back, somebody from off Barbone didn't have a pot or a window to throw it out of, and you know, my grandfather raised us, and we had nothing. But you know, I made my mind up early. I didn't want to work in the coal mines, and it wasn't that I wouldn't, but I didn't want to. And you know, Jim Kerr opened that door for me, and I worked extremely hard and had this opportunity. But we'll look down the road, and like I said, you know, I didn't say I was retiring, I said I was quitting. And you know, we'll take it day by day and look at this, and you know, the first thing we got to do is decide, are we going to stay here, or are we going to do something else, look at another environment. And we'll know that we got time to do that, and we're just going to take our time and hopefully make the right decision.
Yeah, and over your career, I mean, you've been successful everywhere. But I think one of the things that, you know, that really intrigues me is that you as a coach, you know, you affect so many kids' lives over the years. Just kind of talk about some of these relationships. I'm sure there's kids that when you first started coaching, you still talk to nowadays. I mean, just kind of talk about the effect you've had on all these kids' lives, and vice versa, them to you as well.
Well, you know, I can go back to the people that I went to school with, Fred Walkers, Tyrone Duns, Danny Moses, who we lost, 3 weeks ago. That was hard, because we spent so many good times together, and then, you know, we went to Moorhead, and while I'm trying to learn, you know, the players that we had there were they were as old, just about, some of them were as old as I was, but first player we ever signed there that if this state is very fortunate and we're lucky, we'll be the next governor of the state of Kentucky, and that's Rocky Atkins. And I can't help it. I'm putting in a plug for Rocky Atkins to be the next governor of the state of Kentucky. Great kid, came in, and we had a relationship, and then come in his senior year, he gets sick. He's got cancer. He redshirts, and he whips it, comes back the next year, and was captain, led this thing. We go to Hartford, Connecticut, and play against Jim Boeheim in Syracuse, and played a heck of a game. Bob McCann, who we lost about 6 years ago, was an All-American. And then, the kids that we had at Elkhorn City, my goodness, I talked about getting put in the shower. The first game I coached as the head coach at Elkhorn City, and we beat Mullins in overtime. Now, how many people got put in the shower and beating Mullins in overtime? But I look back, Kermit Belcher, Tyler Bailiff, Chris Phipps, Scotty Mullins, Michael G. I look back at all these kids, and my goodness, we would come in on Saturday and practice for 5 hours. I would run them to where we put garbage cans in the floor. I'm not sure you can do that now. I know you can't do that now, but there's one thing that I made my mind up, and a lot of the people that I looked up to, this year, I guess that's why I pulled so much from Michigan State, because Coach Izzo got crucified for demanding a kid in a very hard way to do his job. And he made a statement after that, when he said, it'll be a cold day in hell before I don't hold kids accountable. I hold myself accountable. So, that. And then Coach Huggins has a down year, and you got people attacking him. But at the end of the day, those guys are tough. And, Bob Huggins is a good friend of mine. And he's a lot bigger than I am, but I'm going to tell you, I won't let him be tougher than that. But we're going to take the good things from all these kids, and we're going to step forward. The assistant coaches that I've had have been really good. All the way back to Elkhorn City when I had Jack Matney, who was with me for 11 years there, Joey Thacker, who played and then come back and helped, and my goodness, what a job he's done in Franklin County and Frankfort, and all the things he's done. We've been blessed to be around a lot of good people, develop some unbelievable relationships. For a guy to go from the hills down to the flatlands of western Kentucky, and like I said, I have some of the greatest friends in the world down there, and I spent 4 days down there about a week ago, but this is home. This is home. Sometimes that's hard to do, but I'll take with me that we were able to get some things done, and I think will affect on the positive side some things down the road that we still get phone calls. Tion Knox, who played for me, All-American. I can't go any farther. I won't be able to do it. If I start thinking about this stuff and the things that we've done, you're going to have to edit this pretty bad. But I couldn't play, I couldn't dribble, couldn't shoot, couldn't guard nobody. But I worked really hard to learn the game, and it's the greatest thing I ever did. And like I said, I may not be through with it, but if it's what the good Lord wants, and for Sherry and I that it's over, then I'll deal with it. It's going to be hard. It's been 152 days, pal, without smoking a cigarette since my heart surgery, and if I can make it through that withdrawal, I'll learn to handle the withdrawals from coaching. It won't be, probably will be a lot tougher, but But I'll think back of the good things, the good times, the people like you all, and that have been good to me, even the ones that weren't good to me, that wrote stories. But for the most part, I mean, y'all been tremendously good, open and honest, allow me to voice things and the things that you reported on, you did in a good way. It's just tough. We'll take with it. We have some people that I work with every day here that are good people, and we just it's just tough. But we'll get through it.
Yeah,
we'll get
absolutely.
through it.
Okay, thank you again to our sponsors, Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps, and the beautiful city of Pikeville. Go check out their website at www.visitpikeville.com. It may be summertime, which is kind of a dead time, not a lot going on as far as football or basketball, but there's a ton of stuff coming up in the Appalachian newspapers.
A ton of stuff. We're this week's a little bit special, a little bit different. We're going to have the whole conversation with Randy McCoy. Y'all just watched
Right.
that. But next week, we're going to have highlights from last week, this week. So just all those games that we haven't had this week, they'll be in there. Plus, we've got stories on Caitlin Keithley signing with Presbyterian College. Grace Bartley, we got an interview with her when she signed with Georgetown College. Christy Orm also talked on, when Grace signed. Also, we got an interview with Jason Boer that coming up, which is going to be a fascinating story.
Right.
The things he's doing with qualifying for Boston Marathon and running, and some of the things he's got in store for that. I mean, some really cool stuff. And then up at Shelby Valley, Ronnie Hoss Johnson, the players and the coaches up there dedicated that locker room to him. We also have Shelby Valley's football. Their locker room got a makeover too, and we've got interviews with Coach Anthony Hampton, and we got some videos showing people that as well. All this stuff's going to be in the paper. All this stuff's going to be on the podcast. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff coming up for the podcast and in the paper as well.
Yeah, stay locked in. We've got, like he said, a ton of content coming up. These guys are out here. The whole Appalachian newspaper gang is out here keeping you covered on all the baseball, softball going on in the area. Everything from bass fishing, the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that more in the weeks to come, and keep an eye out on the Appalachian newspapers for more of those stories. And we'll see you next week. Bank on It Podcast.